of August. Okay, we're going to start our MAO pretty shortly. Just give me a more sec. Okay, let's go. Okay, guys, good morning to you once again. Today is the 24th of August, Super Tuesday. We're going to have lots of fun. Today, MAO side, we'll talk about the market. And after that, in the afternoon, we will have a Super Tuesday. And of course, some of you guys are coming to office because you're going to learn about how to trade the Hang Seng. All right, so it'll be kind of interesting day for today. Okay, let's start our MAO right now. Morning to you, Cheng Hui. All right, let's go. Now, good morning. All right, today we have, okay, let's take, okay, hold on. Okay, the recording at the same time. Morning to you, Jerry. All right, the bulls continue to dominate. All right, so we can see what happened last night. The S&P break new all-time high, the Nasdaq all-time high, and the Dow Jones is less than 1% away from the all-time high also. So the question is this, no bad news? Got bad news. But the market react? No, it did not react. So why is it like that? I told you already. As long as $120 billion is in the market, it's not going to be very difficult for the market to come down. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. And every pullback itself, right? If those are adventurous, those can take the risk, it's the time to buy. And I've been telling you this, and I've been repeating like a broken recorder. So I hope that you have captured that. Okay. All right. So as long as Uncle Jerome Powell is around for the bulls will enjoy themselves. All right. It just alludes this lovely picture of Jerome Powell feeding the grapes to the bull. Loads of love. Everybody's happy. And that's what's happening right now in the market. So you can see this is really incredible stuff that is actually developing, okay, in the market. And of course, this coming weekend, this is whereby Jerome Powell will be speaking. And it seems that now the market is looking at potentially no tapering. Or even there's taper, it'll be very, very dovish. Okay, dovish tapering is the word they're using right now. Meaning it's going to be a taper, but it's going to be so small, maybe like 10 billion or even 15 billion, very small figure, that it won't hurt the economy. So that is what the market is actually implying right now. This is pretty interesting. All right. So disclaimer as usual, guys, my job is to give you my views of the market. And of course, like I say, guys, I'm here every day doing this MAO. And of course, it's important for you to listen to what I have to offer. If you miss it, you can replay on it. Okay, if not itself, right, then if by the evening time you didn't listen to me, you didn't watch a MAO, you didn't watch a replay, then after that you got a question about the calls, then again, you know, you're gonna waste of time, right? I mean, the thing is this, everybody knows that ignorance, right, cannot be any excuse for any matters. All right, so end of the day is that we have to be responsible for ourselves. Okay, but of course, end of the day is that I do my best, you guys do your best to learn, so that you guys don't need to rely on me. All right, that's most important. Okay, so with this disclaimer, you have accepted the above and indemnified me. Okay, let's continue. All right, quote of the day: as much as possible, you don't want to be well paid merely for taking big risks. Anyone can manage that. You want to be well paid because you did your homework. Now, I think that is a really, really important thing from this Joel guy, because think about this. I do the homework for traders, okay? I did a lot of homework for those who participate in the recent Endgame Challenge. I spent about 1.5 hours on Sunday telling them about how I see in gold and the movement and stuff like that. I think they really appreciated it. And of course, they benefited from it, of course, that's more important, the next day. And of course, plus on top of that, I also purposely re-mention what I share on Monday MAO. So all these things, I've done the homework already. So of course, you can copy my homework, but of course, you must know how to take care of your risk management side, okay? So being risky doesn't really pay off. What really pay off is researching what you are trading and setting yourself goals. I think that is very, very important. All right, agree with that? Okay, good. All right, so now the thing is this. Let's look at the chart right now. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grrr, and the lemmings go, it's different this time. Okay, I like this. Every morning I try to do this. Okay, let's look at the US market, okay, the China market now. Now, the China A50 is trading higher at the moment right now, so it's kind of positive for the Hang Seng this morning. All right, the China A50 is trading above the MLP, so it's a very first good sign that the market is positive this morning, okay? So when the market stays above OP already, it's a very positive light. Remember that, it's a very positive light for any market, okay? Then the next thing is this, although it's still a bit of far away from the MA30, but at least for now, is leaning to the positive side. Positive side means the buying side, okay? All right. So as long as the market stays above MLP for the China A50, all looks good. Hi, Min Hui. All right, so all looks good. Now, if that is the case, let's look at Hong Kong this morning. Now, Hong Kong, this is Hong Kong chart right now. Hong Kong today, we have the MLP, will be somewhere around here. Now, last Friday, Hang Seng has came down all the way to BNB extension. One time one was given. So that means that the downside has been given. So, and I told you before, usually when the market hit the BNB SL and if the market stays around there, usually that is where it will likely rebound. And you can see that it really happened yesterday. So again, whatever I say all seems to come true. So now what do we look out for the Hang Seng today? Well, with the China A50 now above the MLP, so it's kind of expected that today Hong Kong will trade higher lah. So I repeat myself one more time. It's kind of expected that Hong Kong this morning will trade a little bit higher. Okay, so we'll watch out for that later when Hong Kong open at 9:15. All right. Now MLP all is already prepared for you. MA30, everything's all done. But again, all these MAs are not ready to use because you need to wait for the opening price. Then you replace them. Then that'll be the correct one. Okay. The way I use MA is a bit different, because I do not track it the whole day. I will prefer it when the market is open already. Then after that, after a certain period of time when activities have to come in, then I place the MA. So my MA placement itself, right, need timing. It means that I need one more thing called time factor to put in timing so that I have a better gauge of the levels. Okay, all right. So let's start looking at now the clock. We are still 3 minutes away, so pretty early. Let's look at the US market now. Meanwhile, now for the US market, for the Dow Jones, let's take a look here. The Dow Jones, okay. Okay, the Dow Jones, let's take a look. Okay, now the Dow Jones, wow, okay. So Dow Jones came down, broke below the BNB SL, triggered the BNB 1x1. And I told you before, if the market cannot go down below the 1x1, it will recover. And indeed, it all is really happening. Everything that we mentioned is all happening. So kind of realize that, right? I mean, I share so much thing already, right? If you still don't know what is going to be benefiting to you, right? Then you probably need to really think back. Maybe you need to refresh everything, or think back what you're supposed to do. Okay. All right. Let's look at the MLP for today. Now the MLP today is very near to the SL level. So as long as the, in fact, should be just below it. Right? Sorry. Yeah, let me just put it properly. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. Very near, in fact. Okay, so as long as the market stays above the MLP and above the MA30, the bullishness is there. Now, the Dow Jones high is 35,616. Hey, wait a minute. 616. Yeah. So we are just only like less than 1% away. So it's very easy for the Dow Jones to create a new all-time high in the near term. Okay, it is very, very possible. Now, so watch out for this for today. So I can write it down for you just in case. Recently I must do everything must write down. Then it'll be protected. Okay, so what we have is that 35,230. That's MLP level. The MA30 is 35,162. So as long as the Dow Jones stays above these two common figure, the Dow Jones should be positive, okay, for today. All right, clear? Positive, 35,230 and 35,162. Okay, all right. We are just a few more seconds away. Now, if you look carefully in the MA30, MA200 now is slightly now above the 95% mark already because the market is surging higher. Okay, all right. So Hang Seng gonna open soon. Let's go back to Hang Seng right now. Okay, clear out the chart. Put the Hang Seng day chart ready. Stand by. Now let's go. Here we go. Hang Seng has gap up this morning at 25,378 this morning. All right, and I told you this morning the opening price is actually above the Yesterday closing price was at 25,000. Wait a minute. Yeah, 25,309. So it's up 100 points. Okay, so now what's happening right now is that the opening price is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. KSI is red in color. Okay, so let's just go through this. Above OP, CCRY can buy. Below OP, CCYR can sell. So by logic, because the KSI day chart is red in color, it will favor the downside. So only if the market goes below OP, then you can look for sell for a KTR -1 entry. Okay, I mean KTR -1 TP. Okay, all right. So let's go at the 5-minute chart. Now you can see that very quickly the Hang Seng gap up already, and it's just pushing itself, trying to hit the KTR +1, which I think that it should be able to touch it rather easily. But of course, once hit KTR +1, be careful. The KSI is red in color. Hence, therefore, if the market do breaks below OP, then it will come down to KTR -1. Now, KTR -1 is already here. Okay, right now for you. Sorry, my colors. If it comes down below the OP, 25,297 would be the TP level. 25,297. Okay, so traders, please watch out for this. If the Hang Seng does come down to 25,297, the Hang Seng will come down to 25,000, this level here. Okay, all right, below OP lah. Okay, all right, so got the idea? Okay, good. So let's just move back to see China A50 again. China 50 is still doing okay, above OP, so relatively strong for now. That's with the Dow Jones. Now the Dow Jones, I already tell you what to do already, right? Watch out for this movement, the MLP, the MA30. So you look at the Dow Jones for today. Now, Dow Jones for today, there's a few things must watch out for. Number one, most important thing is today, the market is a CCRY on the day chart. So which means that today above OP can long already, above OP can long on the Dow Jones. Now the risk is from this entry price to this stop loss. It's kind of far away, about 800 points. So you need to do your risk assessment, okay? Your risk assessment, meaning how much money you can lose, divide by your entry price to your stop loss, aka we call it range. So like that itself, right? No matter how much you put, how much money you put it here at the top of the equation, you will not lose more than that. If you just randomly put a number, let's say just buy 1 lot, 2 lot, 3 lot, and then the price come down, right? Then we are in serious trouble because the losses will mount, correct or not? All right, so don't do that. So please make sure that you follow the risk reward ratio that we share with you, or the risk management, whereby you put the money that you want to risk divided by your range, then multiply this by your value per point. Okay, that's very, very important. Then you can get your final size. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, got the idea. Now, of course, the KSI is green in color. Everything looks good. It's above the cash RL. So everything at the moment now looks very positive for the buy up for the Dow Jones. Okay, looks all positive. Now, where can it go? Well, if it goes higher, it will go to this point, 35,587. That is the KCB. All right, 35,587. That is a KCB level. If you want to go a bit more adventurous, you aim for the all-time high, which is not too far away. That's 35,616. Okay, so these are the two levels to watch out for the Dow Jones if it goes higher. All right, clear? Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's Dow Jones. Let's look at the Dow weekly. As I stated to you, beautiful, beautiful. The market now has went back above the short-term trend line, which is exactly what I said. Remember, here, here, here. Can you see this? So it had been proven that every time the weekly chart closed below my short-term trend line, the blue line, or the middle, there's this blue line. Okay, there's two blue lines here. Okay, I told you before, right? The moment it closed below the short-term trend line, the almost impeccably the next week, which is this week now, the market recover. So it seems that it's actually repeating exactly, and that's called pattern. That's called trading. So you talk about pattern recognition. This is what we're looking at right now. So of course, the thing is this: as long as the Dow Jones stays above the short-term trend line, the blue line, there'll be no reason to sell. Okay, unless that you want to take a adventurous step. Now, only if the market start to retrace away from this line, then maybe you must watch out for that. So today, for the sake of some people, I will do it for you. Now, FYI, take a look. If you move your mouse to where it is, okay, you see that? You'll probably see the level come out later. Okay, let me just do this again. Okay, can you see that? That particular level now shows at 35,270. 35,270. Okay, so write it down somewhere if you have to, or you want to, in fact. Okay, hold on. Now, this particular trend line intersection point is 35,270. Okay, why do I want to talk about this morning? All right, FYI, if let's say the Dow Jones, okay, pulls back below 35,270, I mean, it will go back down below the my short-term trend line, and of course that will not be good. Okay, so now it's trading above, then the positiveness is there. But if the market do pull back below 270, then that will be the first sign of trouble. Okay, so all clear on this? 35,270. Okay, all right. So that's one I want to write it down for you. Okay, Dow weekly IP. IP means intersection point. 270 to watch closely. Okay, so I write down for you already. Okay, that's the first thing that I write down for you. All right, so the other thing that you realize on the chart itself, right? You notice that this is where the short-term trend line meets with the so-called long-term trend line. Now, of course, in technical analysis, this is nothing, but as a chartist, right, whenever I see such intersection, right, I kind of like tell myself, maybe I just be more careful during this period of time. So this period of time happened to be around because it could include the weekend, 5th of September, all right? So we're talking about market itself, right, may have some movement around this period. I repeat, around means why? Because this one is that, I mean, this one is just only a intersection point, and we need to plus minus the weekends. So it's not exactly 5th of September, it can be earlier, it can be later, likely it's earlier. So that's how you actually need to take note of that. Okay, so we'll see how it goes as we go nearer to that particular intersection point. Now, okay, so that is what we have right now. Nothing much in, let's see, Hong Kong. Let's bring Hong Kong in again. Hong Kong has no much big movement. It's staying above OP at the moment. All right, it came below OP for a short moment, but still pretty straight in the yellow. So there's no signs of downside at the moment right now. Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so let's look at the Dow. Okay. Okay, the Dow, I already told you what to do already. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Now, this is a NASDAQ chart. Beautiful NASDAQ. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Look at the NASDAQ. Oh my God. Really beautiful, right? Once it broke the MA30, which is 2 days ago, right? It went all the way up. And of course, yesterday it stays beautifully above MA. No, not a single chance to come back down. Straight away, the market goes even higher. Okay, so now how do we look at the market today? Pretty simple. MLP, put it first. MLP is here, which is at 15,225 level, around there. So as long as the market stays above the MLP, there's no reason for the market to come down. This is something you must understand. Then the MA30 will be here. MA30 is here, which is at 15,065. So what we are seeing right now, both MLP and the MA30, we are still very far away from the current price, which means that the market is pretty bullish right now. Okay, pretty bullish. All right. The MA200 is still far away. The MA200 is at 14,000. We're talking about 1,300 points from here. Wow. So more than 5%. Okay, easily more than 5%. Could be 10% to reach the MA200. So it's kind of far away. So no much worry for time being. Okay. So guys, clear on this. Now, of course, the current valuation of the NASDAQ is kind of high. I can just show it to you live right now. Let me just bring to you live. Okay, you can just type this PE ratio of NASDAQ. Okay, just key in. Now, current PE ratio now for the NASDAQ. Now, of course, many different platforms have different calculation. So you need to get a rough estimate. So the current now, based on this one on Google, it says about 26.9. 26.9. Now it seems to be like in a way like average was 35 right now. It's 36.9 seems to be good, right? So that is why different platforms have different calculations. Some of them have different number. Let me show to you this one now. It's 26.9, right? Look at this one here itself. Okay, can you see now? This one is 28.24. Can you see that? Very different, right? Yeah. If you do the maximum of this, I'm not going to buy this and just do 10 years. Oh, need to pay. Oh, okay. You need to pay, then no point. Okay. So you can see my point here itself. Okay. So you can realize that, right? Different platform will have different calculation of it. All right. There's one more that I like to use is Wall Street Journal. Okay. Here we go. Now, Wall Street Journal, you see, the P ratio now is 34. So you see, I went through 3 different places and 3 of them get different P ratio calculation. You got my point. So that's the reason why people get confused about how come different chartists or different fundamentalists, they have different numbers, because that is how it is. So there's no really perfect way to calculate the PE ratio, honestly. All right. So anyway, it's 34.91. That should be the rough idea. And if you notice this, the last 1 year ago was 36. So currently price now is still lower. Okay, apparently. Okay, and the average itself, the average is actually not so high. It's about only like 15 to 18. Yeah. Anyway, so with that, right, it basically tells me that, right, the NASDAQ itself, right, is kind of at a high level. But of course, traders will not see that. They say the high can go higher, right? So that's, I'm just sharing with you this. Because I received some messages asking me, Cal, NASDAQ, how high will it be going? And I always tell you guys, it's going to be very difficult to quote for that. Okay, so let's look at the NASDAQ this morning. All right, NASDAQ conventional chart is been shared with you. Let's look at the charting side. Now today, the opening price of NASDAQ is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. The KSI is green in color, so which means that the market is still going to favor the upside. All right, favor the upside. So above OP, the market can still go all the way up to 15,510 based on the pivot. Okay, if it stays below OP, then the pullback will be here to 15,195. But I don't think the market range will be so big. The market is still going to be on the upside. So I doubt the market will be on the downside. I doubt, unless the market go to profit taking. Okay, so you got my point? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to take away all these lines away. Okay, so you got an idea. This is the NASDAQ right now for us. Okay, all right, suppose positive. Now, how about the S&P 500? S&P 500. Now, S&P have cracked a new all-time high yesterday. So for S&P, you can see that again. If I were to bring in for you S&P now, the index is at 31.2. 1 year ago, according to Wall Street Journal, it's showing 35.55, 35.35. So it's still kind of like low compared to back then. Okay. All right. Now, but the thing is, this usually the average is about 21. So we're talking about we are 10 full points above the average. So again, obviously it's kind of overbought, but the market can go even higher. All right. So just take note of that. Okay, so let's look at the MA30 for today. The MA30 for today is at 44.31, so it's pretty far away. The MLP for today is about 44.64. So again, we have some distance. So which means that, right, as long as the market stays above MLP, by right, and this S&P will go higher. Okay, let me just put in the BNB. Now, you look carefully again, beautifully, the BNB, the market broke the SL level. It came down to the BNB extension. Then it found a base, recover. If you remember, I told you, right, if the market recover from the BNB extension, it will go back up again. And truth be told, it's all happening. And of course, if this is going to continue, there is a possibility for S&P 500 to really hit the Let me draw for you. You may not get to see this. Okay, if you look at the BNB SL extension, and now it's going back to BNB above the BNB RL, then what will likely can happen is that the next level, okay, this is a BNB extension, is 45.26 level. Wow, that's a pretty high number. So is it possible? Again, I repeat, anything is possible right now in this financial market. All right, if let's say Jerome Powell say that, okay, no tapering, if we stun the market, no tapering, the market will shoot up very fast, okay? So 45.26 is the next level for the S&P 500 if the market maintain its upside. All right, so clear on this? Okay, all clear? Okay, good. Okay, so that we have the S&P forecast. Let's look at the S&P chart right now using the system, TWB system. Okay, here we go. Now today's S&P is the opening price is also between the two pivot, and it's pretty big range, just like the Nasdaq. All right, if the market stays above OP, the next target is 45.25, which is kind of very near to the target I mentioned earlier. If the market comes down, then of course it's 44.47. But the KSI is green, so the upside potential is higher. I repeat, the upside potential is actually higher. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so we got the idea now. Okay, so let's look at the Hang Seng. Hang Seng seems to be coming down a little bit. Let's take the Hang Seng, whether it come down to this point. Okay, Hang Seng now is off the high. Okay, and seemingly it did not touch a KTR plus 1. So like I say, if the market cannot catch KTR plus 1, most likely it's coming down to cover gap, which is 25,297. Okay, let's look at China A50. China 50 is still positive, so it's got no influence on the Hang Seng. Hang Seng is moving on its own at the moment. All right, but again, the market is trying its best to stay below OP for time being right now. Okay, next market, DAX. Now look at DAX. This is really, really incredible. How come I think like that? Wait, I think there's some color problem. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so DAX basically came down, didn't go below, and then rebounded strongly at the MA 30 level. So for today's DAX, okay, for today's DAX, this is the MA, right? Then this is the MLP. As long as the DAX stays above the MLP, DAX should be still going up. All right, now yesterday the DAX pulled back from the opening to the closing, but towards the end there was some recovery. The question is this: is it a pie for DAX right now? Right. So to me, is this as long as the DAX can stay above MLP, DAX should be still okay. All right, DAX should be still okay. All right. Now we are done with that. Let's recap on what happened on DAX in yesterday's market. DAX. Now, yesterday's DAX, the KSI was red color for the day chart. So by right, if the market stays above OP, above pivot 1, by right it's a buy. But because the KSI is red in color, so the upside is kind of limited. So let's check the 5-minute chart for the entire day movement. The market couldn't go up to KTR plus 1. It couldn't go up. Then it U-turn. And you realize this again, everybody, you notice this? Can you notice this? Do you see what is that? Can you text me now? What is this all about, guys? Now, when it comes to DAX, we use 5-minute chart. We use 5-minute chart, okay? Okay, BNB, CCYR, correct, Eric? Anything else? BNB, CCYR, OP, okay, good. Brian, correct. Anything else? Anything else? Waiting for it. Correct. It's the day high. Yes, indeed. It is the day high at the same time. Yes, BNB at the day high, some more, correct or not? So don't you realize that as long as you remember some of the key rules and happen to bump into them, you take a very simple speculative trade. That means that you already know that it's a CCYR, you know that it's a BNB at the KOP. And if you actually take one more little step, you notice that it's a day high, at least for now. You take a short position here and your stop loss put it here, then you realize that, right, this is going to be a pretty decent trade, because if that is the happen to be the day high of the day, then isn't that good? You understand my point? Yeah, so this is the reason why I say, guys, there is a way to make money in the market, but you just remember that these are all the patterns that keep on repeating. Now, pattern like double bottom, triple top, this is like once in a while pattern. And of course, the viability of it is happening and giving you the profit, right? I realize it's not that high, but this type of pattern, daily pattern itself, right? Not every day we'll have, but if it happen to be in front of you and you actually utilize it, right? It's quite profitable. Don't you agree? Correct. Correct. Yes, indeed, Anthony, you are right. Correct. Yeah, indeed. That's why I say very easy. All right, very, very easy. Okay. Anyway, if you take notes next time, take note of that. All right. So anyway, the market go down all the way, then you came on KTR -2, missed by a couple of points, then recover, came back down again. This time round, confirm, touch it already, and then the market rebounded again. So these are all the technical point that you realize that, when the market touch a technical point and doesn't move, the next thing will recover. If it cross below technical point, that's why it will move down or move up. Okay, depending which side are you in right now. Okay, so you got an idea for DEX. Kind of cool, right? Brian is a very good student. Yeah, indeed, I totally agree with that. Brian, very good student. Okay, so done. Okay, last one, we look at the Nikkei for the indices market. Now, Nikkei this morning is trading higher. This morning, Nikkei is trading higher. It's trading at 27,757 this morning. All right, Nikkei, look at it. The ML, this is the moving average today. MA moving average is already broke above the MA. And also now today is above the MLP. So for Nikkei today, as long as market stays above the MA30, Nikkei is a buy. Okay, it's a buy. Okay, all right. Then if you look at the TWB system chart, let's take a look at Nikkei. Right, Nikkei today is pretty clear that the opening price is between the two pivot, and the KSI is interesting. It's actually a green KSI. Okay, so which means that today above OP, CCRY can buy easily KTR +1, if not KTR +2. Let's see whether they all happen. Well, almost there. The market really goes up. CCRY hit the KTR +1 given. And then after that, now it's stabilized at KTR +1. And now it's most likely going to go for KTR +2. So again, all this thing is something that we already know that will likely be happening if you actually follow the script. All right, which means that you know that today is a buying day, you know that where the level will be, you know that if the market continue, where the next level will be. All these are all prepared before the market started trading. So that is the reason why, you know, as long as you follow the rules, you should be fine. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, so I finished all the indices already. Let's look at the commodities market, which is gold, right? Wow, look at it. Beautiful, right? Look at the gold market. Beautiful. Okay, so why I say beautiful? Now, let's just take back all the lines out again. Now, first of all, we have seen on this day that gold have came down all the way. Then after that, it rebounded. Now, from the high to the low, if we divide by 2, that'll be somewhere around here. And you can see that the market take out the 50%, the midpoint, rather easily. And of course, now it's trading higher. After it hit the MA30 for 5 days in a row, I told you guys that if the market ever close or trades above the MA30, it will go higher. And apparently, the doji directional day play dividend. All right, pay great dividend. Okay, so now what do we do? Very simple. The first thing first is you must understand that this is the MA30 for today. Please write it down somewhere if you can. If not, I write it down for you. The MA30 for today is about 1802. Okay, 1802. Now, what it means that, right, as long as the market stays above 1802, gold will likely be trading higher. All right, gold will likely be trading higher. If gold stays below 1802, then gold may pull back down to the next level, which happened to be the MA30 itself. So MA30 for today is about 1785. 1785. Okay, so which means that for gold today, the key point to watch out for, okay, the MA200 is the very strong resistance point, but the market has crossed above it. So that is 1802. Okay, then the next MA is 1785. Then, of course, we need to put the MLP for today, right? The MLP. The MLP for today is somewhere around here, about 1792. 1792. So to put it all together for gold, MLP estimate 1792. Key resistance, MA200. Estimate at 1802, and MA30 as support, estimate 1785. Okay, done. So I've given you everything that you need to know for gold today. The MLP, the resistance, and the support. So of course, if the gold stays above OP for today, which is 1804, then that means that it have touched the MA200 and rebounded. It's above MLP, so therefore it's pretty bullish. Okay. All right. So that is what we have there. Okay. I just saw some movement in Hang Seng this morning now. Okay. Hang Seng has strongly recovered from this now. Let me just bring it in. Okay. Okay, Nikkei has broke the KTR plus 2 already, and Hang Seng has just shot up. Can you see that? Hang Seng has just shot up. Okay, shot up. Okay, all right, it hit the KTR plus 1, the level that I mentioned earlier as well, that I tell you it will likely be going up towards it, and it's now still shooting higher. Most likely China is up. Yes, indeed, China is up. Yes, China is up right now. I told you likely China today will be a buy, because it's above MLP today. So overall, all these are all the technical reason why we are looking to buy in the market. Okay, so this is all very important information that you need to take note whenever we share here. Okay, just give me a short moment. I need to just check something here. Okay, done. Okay, all right, all clear? Okay, so let's look at the weekly chart. Gold weekly chart looks all positive, looks good, but then this is the downtrend line that we need to watch out for. Okay, this is a very strong downtrend line. You can see that how I'm going to place it in. All right, likely to place something like this, because you can see that it's a form resistant, but now it broke already, right? So that's why I say gold at the moment now looks pretty positive. Okay, let's look at the gold day chart first. Okay, gold day chart today is still positive for gold, and kind of like looking forward to go for the next KCB, and that's 1811. I repeat, KCB next is 1811.90. So for those who want to squeeze the market, you can go for all the way for 1811.90. For those who want to take the money, you can put at 1811. Okay, of course, $1 does make a difference, but it's up to you whether you want to squeeze or you just take whatever that is due to yourself. Now, KSI is green and no blue bars at the bottom. So this is very positive, very bullish. And that's the reason why, again, yesterday was a buy. And I don't understand why people want to sell. So that's why I'm telling you this. You have to believe in the system. Okay. Now, if the market does go up to 1811.90, where next after this? Well, at least let's concentrate on this number first, 1811. Then after that, we look again. Because after that, you notice that there is no more red bar available. So by default, by default, if the market really so bullish, the next level for gold, FYI, if the next level for gold, you notice that already, right? If the market really break 1811, the next level for gold is 1859. Wow, a massive jump here. That means we're talking about a $40 to $50 movement from where we are right now. Okay. So do you think it's possible? Well, anything is all possible, but my point is that I think let's look at 1811 first. Okay, take some profit, and then we see how it goes. If you want to hold on all the way to 1859, nothing wrong. To me, is that right? You just have to understand that it could be after you hit this 1811, it may pull back down again, and then after that, then go up again. I don't know. There's no one will know the answer. Okay, please. All right, but at least we can roughly gauge that this could be actually happening. Okay, so take note of that. 1859. Okay, next level is 1859. Okay, very interesting level. Okay, go for upside. The next KCB is 1811, then 1859. Okay, all right, cool, right? Okay, so that is the level here itself. Yeah. Now, how about silver? Now, this is silver. Yesterday, silver speculatively went up, almost up quite a fair bit, almost 60 cents in a single day. Now, silver, as you can see, silver, as long as gold is upright, silver usually will follow through easily. All right, so for silver now, the MLP for silver, let me just put it properly. For silver, the MLP is about $23.30. So as long as silver stays about $23.30, silver is still, if a MLP is still a buy. Now, one thing to note, you notice this, okay, the MA30 is very nearby and it's also near to the retracement at 61.8. All right, this is interesting. So if the market, okay, if the market can stay up and go past the MA30, right, things may change a lot for silver. Okay. Change information also silver. Okay, go guys, you already got all the levels for gold, silver. I hope that you will make some money out of this. Last one is crude. Now, I already told you yesterday, I said that crude can buy. I'm not too sure how many of you heard me yesterday. I already told you yesterday, crude was a buy if you want to buy. All right, I said that crude, if it already hit my target, $61.86. I told you that if you want to buy crude, can go. And yesterday, crude went up by 6% in a single day itself. Remember that? Okay, those who remember that, can you key the word REM? Remember that I did call for buy on crude oil. And of course, if crude oil is up, usually the US equity market will be up. And indeed, it also happened. So now I understand why I look at crude. This will give you a very good information about what could be happening for crude prices in the coming, the crude prices and equity market. Okay. All right. So of course, if the crude oil stays positive, then it'll be good because now you can see it's a BNB, right? It's a BNB. So let me just put in for you. Yeah, there's all lines on the crude oil. Just take out a few first. Not very confusing. This is MLP, and of course, we need to have the BNB. Can you see that? New BNB ma? So if crude oil is to recover, then crude oil can go all the way up to $70 again per barrel. Okay? All right, it is possible. So that's why traders, you have to do this every day, every time, so that you can get the maximum of it. All right, thank you, Anthony and Brian, who remember. Thank you very much. Okay. So all clear? Yeah, all pretty clear. We know what to do for crude oil already. Okay. So for crude oil today, well, today's crude oil is very clear. Above OP, above people one, it's a buy, but KSI is red. So do take some profit along the way for today. Right, KTR +1 to most +2, take some profit. Okay. All right. So that is what we need to do. Okay, all right. So I've covered all the technical analysis for all the market. I hope that you enjoyed this session. Okay, all right. So let's look at the Dow Jones. Hang Seng, the Hang Seng is up already at 25,528. Excellent. Above MLP is a buy, and it's also got itself supported at the SL level 1x1. And earlier was China A50 is staying above MLP, so all is good. This nearest BNB for this one, let me bring it in. Okay. The nearest BNB is here, correct? Last BNB, so it hit the SL level already, right? And rebounded. So you notice that really very useful. Once it hit the 1x1, usually the opposite will recover. All right, so the market did come down from hit the market go all the way. You follow me, everybody. The market, this is the BNB, right? This is the BNB. Initially, it went up. So it go for the 1x1 trigger. Then after trigger already, couldn't go higher, right? Expected, right? It pulled back down. Then after that, when this in between, you don't care. But once the market goes below the BNB SL, it will go down to the BNB 1x1. And when 1x1 is given, you see that it recovers again. So you just think about this. BNB can be used in such a manner, and you can actually make money rather easily just by doing that. So it's pretty clear, right? That it is very easy to use. You just have to use it wisely, right? Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So I have for you already all the levels for your technical analysis to take note for today. I wish you all the best and stay cool and safe, all right? Okay, so now we are done this part for the technical analysis. Let's look at the news right now. Oops. Okay, now we have the existing home sales. We saw the data, it came out 5.99, it's within expectation. So market likes it because it's higher than the forecast. So home sales is actually good. I mean, people, some selling, so it's okay. All right, existing home sales, but today will be the better one. Is the new home sales. If the new home sale is higher than 700,000, then of course mean the economy is doing well. But of course, if the market come out, let's say 600,000, example, then the market say, oh, not doing well, then don't need to taper. All right. So no matter how any bad news is still good news. Okay. Okay. Think about this. Now look at the last few months. This is why I purposely show you the statistic of the last few time. You can see the last few months, the statistic shows that the numbers are actually dwelling. So I kind of believe that today number will be so low, about 650 to 600 in my opinion. Okay. Now, but the Dow Jones doesn't care. It doesn't bother as long as the market is bullish to keep on buying. As you can see very clearly, it's all happening right now. The market is very, very bullish. Now, stocks rally to start the week as NASDAQ closed at record high after Pfizer vaccine approval. So apparently now, right, FDA has now approved its first COVID-19 vaccine. Okay. FDA, okay, so this one, right, basically all the vaccine makers was doing all okay because now they got, both Pfizer now received the approval, so likely the rest will also receive the approval. So all the counters all shoot up, okay, all these counters all shot up. Okay, so what we are seeing right now in the market is like this. It says that market may take a breather after the recent run, but of course the Q2 numbers are good and the market is now kind of bullish. So even though the recent deterioration of the incoming data, the hard data is terrible and lousy, But because that's the case, then Jerome Powell likely to taper. It's going to be much, much lower. Therefore, the market is happy. So he's telling you that, right? Okay, because the doctor is around, then you can fall sick. Okay, so falling sick is not a problem right now, because falling sick means that the doctor is around, you should be okay. So that is what is happening right now in the market. Insane, incredibly stupid, but that is why we need to follow a chart. If the chart say buy, you just have to follow buy, because if you go for sell and the market goes higher, right, then the disadvantage is yourself. You understand? You are the one paying the dues, not the market. Okay. So if you look at the Dow Jones yesterday, pretty clear. Is the opening price is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. KSI is green. So obviously, once the market stays above OP, it's a buy up already, right? So straight away, the market opened already, straight away goes up, hit the KTR +1. Okay, and then after that, it went sideways, ding dong for a while, came back down. Then after that, CCRY again. Now there's no PMB trigger for this, so by right, we shouldn't have entered, there's nothing can enter. But of course, too bad, if we didn't enter, the market go up again, then all the way to the high. So in short, right, not to lie about it, yesterday, right, we don't have really a clear shot. Yeah, yesterday, don't have a clear shot. I mean, clear shot to trade, okay, not short selling. All right, so yesterday don't have a bit of a wasted. Yeah, but what to do? If you want to follow rules, you follow all the way up. Okay, but for gold yesterday was pretty clear already. Gold was pretty clear. All right, look at it. The opening price came down, touched the pivot 2. KSI was red in color. By right, it's a sell, but there's no blue bar at the bottom. That means that the market itself, right, has kind of bullishness. Now, remember, I told you, right, pivot most powerful is when you see color change at pivot. Color change at pivot. So I'm going to purposely write the word color change at pivot over here. So which means that later on, if we happen to see any color change that happened on the pivot, we must trade. Agreeable? Okay, so let's take a look, everybody. Let's take a look. Can you see that? Oh my God. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Can you tell me what is this guy? Can you tell me what is this? So Eric, Brian, all right, you want to try again? What is this? Okay, can you tell me what is this? Or anybody want to try? Now, this is the time we practice what we learn. All right, MAO is not about, just about showing showmanship and show that, okay, I make money, I lose money. It's not that. What we learn from this, what is this thing here? Come, wait for your answer right now. I think you have learned already, right? BNB, yeah. CCRY, yeah. Trigger, pivot 2, yeah. And OP. It triggered pivot 2 and triggered OP. And yes, indeed, it is the day low of the day. Exactly. Yay. So Brian and Eric, well done. Okay. So Brian, because of your power message, right? Okay. Oh, Eric also got trigger OP lah. Okay. So, okay, I tell you what, for Eric and this, for Brian and Eric, right, I'll give each guys of you 3.8 ADA coin. 3.8 ADA coin for today for all the contribution. Okay, if that's how Brian have added the plus OP, trigger OP also, right? Wow, more point, but miss it. Color change at Anthony Pang, yes, correct. It's color change pivot, but that's not enough. Now, the thing is this, how to be a very good trader is that you must know more stuff. It's just like if you get more, if you are a general going for battle, you know your soldiers, you know your enemy is weak only, then okay lor. But if you know the enemy is weak and they are much weaker on the left side, and you know their right side is actually got one general that is strong, but the rest are weak, this type of extra information, if you know, then you will know how to strategize your soldiers to attack and win the battle. Can you understand this? This is what we need to do. Okay? So now, if you look at it on hindsight, CCRY, okay, which is here, is above OP, above pivot 2 already, right? So it's a buy. Then you realize that the CCRY, the red bar, is a BNB, happen to trigger all the things, plus is the day low of the day. Oh my God. So if you have purchased it right here on the gold, your stop loss put here, then seriously, you know that if you speculate that is a low of the day, then any price is a buy already, right? And now you understand why. So if you follow the sequence, okay, then you notice that there's another trade right here, okay, which is CCRY, also a BMB. Notice that? Okay. Then, of course, when the market cracks above the pivot one, now there's no color change, unfortunately. So there's no color, you cannot buy based on pivot one unless you want to take like you buy here, stop loss put all the way here, kind of far away. But if you have purchased it at a starting point over these two areas, then of course now you enjoy the profit loss. You got my point. So all this is showing you, and you look at it at the bottom, there is no blue bars, meaning the market is very, very, very bullish. That's the reason why when gold was ding-donging around this area, right? I keep on reminding you guys, if gold can go up, it can go up to much higher level. And the one of the figure was 1803, okay, or 1804 that I mentioned. And it really happened, guys. Now you understand why we learn, we must also utilize it, okay? So if you have learned and you utilize it, then you know that why the market goes up. It's as simple as that, guys, okay? Amazing, right? Amazing system. All right, so now let's look at the local and global news. Microsoft stocks hit fresh high. Now, yesterday I just covered Microsoft. Today, again, Microsoft came out in the picture. Obviously, the Microsoft shares went up and the news was not yet. So after the news came out, the Microsoft share went out. So the buying came before the Microsoft news. Hence, therefore, it's pretty clear that's how things happen. It's all about market manipulation, leaking, all right? Or you can say that, or because they buy ahead of the news, but doesn't matter. We have Amazon going up. Now, Amazon 1 year ago was about 180, but today now is 303 level. Okay, so Microsoft again, rally up 41% in a single year. And again, I say all these companies are at a very, very ridiculous high price right now. And later on, I'll cover that actually fund managers actually shorting or selling Microsoft. That's quite interesting. So Microsoft closed at 304. Now, because of that, wow, the market cap is now $2.3 trillion. Oh my God. Okay. And of course, the Alphabet for the year to date is gained by 60%. So even 37% is not really wow, fantastic. But you can understand how much money is being pumped into the company, like these technology companies in the whole entire year itself. So that is why you can see that the NASDAQ is at all-time high. Now, crude oil, I told you, right, it's a buy, and indeed it went up by 6%. So initially, people were just saying that, okay, crude oil will fall because of the dollar and stuff like that. And then after that, there's cases in Japan and China for COVID. So all these things dampen the crude oil. But I told you, right, crude oil will rebound at $61 and indeed really recover. There was no reason why they buy it up. They just find that recently there's a lot of weakness and market feel that it's a time to buy and liquidity is kind of low. So it's quite easy to push. But all these to me are BS. End of the day, they know why they're selling. They also know that why they are buying. All these tells you that. And of course, for those companies that are in the energy sector all benefited yesterday. That's how it works. Now, this is something interesting. Donald Trump really boo at his own rally for finally telling the truth about something. So I repeat, this is actually quite bad. So the way the caption says that, right, Donald Trump finally speak the truth. So bad. Okay, and when he spoke the truth, people boo him. Why would his own people boo him when he spoke the truth? Okay, so obviously, if you are fast enough, you will notice that the reason is because he says that it's time to recommend taking the vaccine. Hey, I thought all the way he said no one. Yeah, apparently now our Donald Trump says that it is time to take the vaccine. Okay, let's watch this video. Turn down your volume, you have to, not just read the subtitle, good enough already. Okay, kind of, it's really a joke though. For one, let me put up my volume 2 for you.
Take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But you got, no, that's okay. That's all right. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working. Unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
That sounds to me like a money-making operation for Pfizer. Okay, think of the money involved. And that's only shot, that's tens of billions of dollars. How good a business is that? If you're a pure businessman, you say, you know what, let's give them another shot. That's another $10 billion of money coming in. The whole thing is just crazy.
Okay, so remember Donald Trump caught the COVID, right? Okay, and apparently, he got some cocktail, and then after that, 3 days later, he's up. Okay, and all the while he says that already he's against it. Then now he took again, and now he's happy. He's telling some people to take. Okay, and the thing is that now we know Pfizer gonna have the booster shot, right? So he's also condemning him. He's a very, very mixed person. End of the day is this. Whatever it is, this is Donald Trump once again. All right. So what do you think? Okay. All right. So what are the reasons to stay bullish for now? Let's take a look. First of all, Tom Lee, again, Fundstrat Tom Lee says Federal Reserve taper jitters are buying opportunities for the long-term investor. So he's saying that as long as there's jitters, you should be buying, which I kind of really agree with him. I really said that already. I really agree what he said, not because it's Tom Lee, but because I told you guys, as long as there's any pullback of significant, all right, it's a buy because the market is still in the buying mode. And of course, anytime our dear Jerome Powell will come back in again, you know what? That's just changes again. So apparently, right, Tom Lee says this, okay, that within the window of announcement of taper, even in the front of the first action, I will expect investors to be really nervous. That's expected. They don't like uncertainty, and taking away this really big support will make investors kind of nervous. Okay, true. I think it's going to make zero difference for where markets are 12 months out. And for those who are focused on long-term investing, these periods of weaknesses are really buying opportunities. All right. So he's saying that, right, even let's say now there is going to be any weakness from now till a year later. In fact, if you're a long-term investor, you just have to buy, which I totally agree with him. And I tell you this, my take is this. If the way the US market is going to continue printing more and more money, gold is definitely a buy. Plus, okay, Dow Jones is going to go 50,000. Okay, Dow Jones is going to go 50,000. Not now, but I'm talking about maybe the next 10 years. Okay. All right. So he says already, right? I don't think market need to fear inflation as much as we think. He felt that, right, this inflation thingy is overdone, and he felt that, right, it's time to look out for buying opportunity. Okay. All right, so he's kind of like pretty positive on this area here. So he don't see future good news about the pandemic recovery being baked into the market at current level. All right, so you can see that now, right? All bad news is good news. So you can see we have volume selling flows. We have this movement down. So initially, all the small cap Nasdaq were down initially, but then after that, they pump it up already. So it shows that the market really don't care, don't bother, just buy. So Al Irian, he says that, right, the stock market condition now is to buy on dips, and this could be the last one until the end of the year. Okay, so he's saying that, right, he don't see a major pullback. He don't see that. He felt that, right, it's the chief economic advisor of Allianz. Okay, so he's saying that, right, all these pullback or weaknesses is good. In fact, it's the same thing as what just now earlier has mentioned by Tom Lee. He felt that right now, professional investors and strategists often say a small pullback of 5%, 10% are healthy and is expected to be a bull market. But however, we have not seen this for a long while. So to him itself, right, this sort of major shock is not necessary. So in fact, just any dip itself is good enough to buy. So of course, now with several bankers now have called in Federal Reserve to do purchase, to do tapering, but he thinks that, right, all these things will not really change Jerome Powell's mind. He felt that, right, Jerome Powell will still continue with whatever he's doing right now. Of course, that will be a different story altogether. And of course, all the shorter stock has recovered yesterday. Well, because anything that was shorted, they bring it back yesterday. Okay. And Santoli, all right, he says that a lot of stuff. First of all, he felt that, right, the recovery is just a shallow dip. He felt that the recovery is strong. He felt that, right, though now some of the counters are actually below the MA 200 level, MA 20 level, but he felt that, right, it can be a buying signal. All right, you can see this is his own chart, and he says that every time the market pulls back down to this 20-day moving average, it's always a buy. You can backtrack this, it seemed to be true. Then, of course, he also said that, right, the suspend draining out from Jackson Hole conclave. All right, so apparently now, right, everybody talking about Jackson Hole, but after a while later, people get tired of this. They may not want to talk about it anymore. And of course, the treasury yields are still staying at 1.2% despite the recent, we have this buyback, but apparently it doesn't seem to be giving any form of support here. So overall itself, right, the market breadth is not that fantastic, but it's still positive. And he also said that, right, the current VIX now is kind of down at the moment, but the thing is this, it is still, I mean, that shows that the market is good for buying. So basically, Santoli is saying that overall itself, right, the market is still pretty positive for now. So of course, VIX was hammered yesterday. So VIX came all the way down to around 17 area. Okay, so that's where, again, we'll be watching to buy. All right, now, of course, hedge funds thinking that, right, the US listed China stock might be near a low. All right, and he felt that, right, it could be a time to look out for some of the US China ADR. So, of course, there's the most popular one. We have Alibaba, Jingdong. Okay, all these are owned by one of them by Goldman Sachs and many other funds. Okay, so the rest is all right. Like here we go. We have Baidu la, Bilibili la, Pinduoduo la. All these are the Chinese ADR counters. So the China ADRs, seemingly according to some fund managers, they find that it's time to look out for buying opportunity. So what do you think? So do you agree with this statement? All right, let me know your take. Okay, all right. So we have done on the positive side. Now let's look at the alternative market views. Let's take a look right now, alternate market views. Now, hedge funds are dumping popular stock like Disney and Microsoft. Interesting. And it came from Goldman Sachs again. So recently, Goldman Sachs are very, very busy. Yeah. So Goldman Sachs says that, right, these are the counters that actually people are selling, which is Walt Disney, Twitter, Lyft, Gilead, Edison International, Adobe, Microsoft. There's some more, but this is the top. So apparently the one that people are taking profit now apparently is Walt Disney. So I kind of interesting. I want to see Walt Disney, the share price now. So let's bring in Walt Disney. Okay. Just to take a look, Walt Disney. You can see that, okay, Walt Disney recently shoot up, right, on the earnings and subscription, and then now it came back right down, right? So, like, if you look at it for the long haul, Walt Disney itself is not at the all-time high, and there's some that mean that it was pumped up and came down. So I suspect that that was the reason why the fund managers are selling. Now that's one. Then the other one, what the counter is? The counter is Twitter. Okay, Twitter. Let's look at Twitter. All right. So why is Microsoft in the list? Because of Microsoft and Walt Disney, because they think that it's kind of at a high level right now. It's outperformed the market. So let's look at this. This is Walt Disney. Let's look at this Microsoft. Hey, where's my Microsoft? Oh, here we go. See Microsoft all the way, one-way traffic all the way up itself. Okay, so all these are all money pumped in the system. Okay, so Microsoft finally got what they want. So that's why Microsoft is trading like this at the moment right now. Not a very good time to short it yet. Okay, one more to go is Disney. Oh, okay, Microsoft, Twitter. Okay, Twitter. Okay, here we go. Twitter is kind of like coming down a little bit. So Twitter is coming down at the moment right now. Okay, all right. So we have the three counters. The one that's strongest is still the one Microsoft at the moment. Okay, so this is first thing to take note of. Then, of course, the City Economy Surprise Index continue to fall. So the EU consumer sentiment tumbled, the US PMI plunged, and the US Economy Surprise Index plunged to 45.5, right? Minus 45.5. It is the worst since last year, 2020. So we're talking about when the 2020, the market was so terrible. You're talking about the surprise index down, we can understand. But now the market condition in terms of data is actually at the same level. Then this is where you need to be very careful because the stock market is near the all-time high level. All right, so that's why you must be very careful. And this is the medium stock. It's called the value line geometric index, okay, FYI. Now this index tracks the medium move of stocks within the index usually equally weighted value, and it's calculated geometrically rather than arithmetically. All right, so basically you can see that all the way for the last 10 over months, basically from April on, from March onwards last year to this year March, right? You can see that the medium stock movement and the S&P is always in line. It was only until here in May where the market shakes, right? That is whereby she basically, you can see now the thing had decoupled. So by right, if we're talking about again and again and again, if the market is supposed to come down to the same level, then by right, the S&P 500 may have to come down to here, which is about 4,200, which I keep on reminding you, most likely as many traders or investors will see themselves between 4,200 level to 4,400 level. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing right now. Sorry, not 400, sorry, my bad. 250 level, sorry, 250. Okay. Okay, so that's my view. That's a view of the S&P and the medium stock. And the last one will be, this is the credit market. Now the credit market is flashing some serious red light at the moment right now. The high yield credit, aka junk bond, is wider 7 straight week. It's inverse, it's inverse. So this is the longest streak ever since 2014. Okay. Now the OAS index is constructed for each constituent bond OAS and stuff like that. You can read on your own. So basically, it tracks the performance of the US dollar denominated counters. Okay. And you can see the grading of it shows that it's supposed to be in line with the S&P inverse, but now again since June this year it has started to decouple, and this is quite terrible because if you had a pullback, you notice that the pullback can be as much as 4,100. So from where we are now, right, at 44.75 to hit 4,100, 300 points, there's about 9% drop. So again and again, I repeat myself, the market does seem to be very positive. You can see it, but the economic data is terrible to the T. But as long as the market is buying, there's no stopping this guy. All right, that will be all for today's MAO. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed this session. All right. Now, the thing is this, I may be conducting another special solitary based on stock market with the alternate market views, and it composite with the Michael Burry short recently on the bond market. So this particular session will likely be at night, but I don't know which day. I need to look at my calendar. I'll get back to you guys. Now, this particular session is only for two type of people who are kind of bearish in the market, and people who actually wants to invite friends to join the TWB family. Okay, so it's like that. No need to pay for it, but I will say that, right, I would like to have like-minded people to join so that we don't have, we don't want to be confused and stuff like that, because the data that I collected, right, if you are impressed with what I collected the last Saturday during the event, this one will be even better, even much more crazier charts. Okay, that will be all for today. Thank you so much once again. I appreciate that you're liking for this. Okay, till then again, this is Kel signing off. Have a great day. Take care. Raining outside. Be careful. Bye-bye.